Hey fam, hey fam, hey fam! What's up? We're back again with another video. And today I just want to cover basically the whole entire structure of the soil when it comes to growing cannabis. Definitely, I know my channel is for educational purposes only, as well as entertainment purposes as well. Um, but definitely today I'm going to get into what is really building ecosystem within your soil. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So, as you all can see before us today, we have Pro Mix actually. This consists of prolets with a little extra perlites in there. Um, I didn't amend the soil before planting this tree into the soil, but definitely as time go by, I did added micronutrients like every 2 weeks, sometimes every 3 weeks. I tend to add my micronutrients within my nutrient mixes in between waterings. So basically today what we have in front of us, as I mentioned before, is mushrooms. And there is a lot of factors surrounding mushrooms growing within your soil media. But here it is that I purchase Pro Mix at my local agricultural store. Definitely, people out there, you can go reach out to agricultural stores across the world. In your community, definitely source whatever soil media you need in terms of growing any type of plants. For this particular type of plant, cannabis, we usually try to get more aerated soil because aeration and oxygen towards your root system is the key factor, especially in terms of marijuana plants. Definitely, we don't want to forget that factor in terms of airflow, air circulation within your soil media. So, as I mentioned before, cannabis plants, we try to go for more aerated soil medias. Yeah. Again, there are so many information out there in terms of why mushrooms appear, why mushrooms thrive within your potted soils. Yeah. So within this video, I'm just trying to cover factors in terms of what I specifically think brings out mushrooms within my soil, and especially soil that I personally didn't take like from the earth or like to say like alright that topsoil finish. As I mentioned, it's straight pro mix with additional perlites. I usually put a little more perlites within to my pro mix, and I feed in my nutrients. I measure. I do use organic nutrients with a combination of synthetic nutrients. Not too much on the synthetic. Most of my grows I really try to go organic for the reason for consumption purposes, definitely. I usually share with my friends, family. Of course, here where we are at is actually legal to grow four plants. So definitely when I harvest, I share with my friends, share with my family, and always keep a little bit for myself. A good nice thing. Yeah. So today, as I mentioned, focusing on mushrooms and my theory or my analysis over the years and really being into growing and getting a little more familiar in terms of gardening. I will basically say that this is a healthy, thriving ecosystem. This is signs of healthy, thriving ecosystem within your soil. Trust me, I can guarantee you that when your microorganisms and that whole network within your soil has that perfect touch, that is when you see these babies coming out. Yeah, I talking about like really, really, really healthy soil. There is that perfect balance within the soil, airflow. Definitely, I'm in a grow bag. Yeah, and as I mentioned before, in terms of airflow and oxygen being available to your root system and the importance of it, a lot of growers, even myself, I always tend for my soil to dry back, not too dry to really drop those microbes. because you don't want your soil to dry right out, because that microorganisms within your soil will definitely die off. So at least you want to keep a little bit of percentage of moisture within your soil before giving it another wetting or another feeding. So here we are at again, as I mentioned before. Most of my videos, well, more or less my shorts I've posted before on this channel, was basically based on pictures. Um, I didn't really give out any specific details in terms of what type of soil I use, what type of nutrients I use, how I go about dealing with issues like temperature, airflow, PPFDs, um, a number of other different things within gardening, and especially in the cannabis arena, this particular species of plant. There are certain a lot of factors that you must take a different approach in terms of dealing with this plant. And to me, this is one of the signs of a healthy soil system, as I mentioned. As you can see, the mushrooms is good signs that the ecosystem within the soil is definitely perfect. Yeah. A lot of people may debunk this. They may just say, hey, you know what? Overwetting usually causes mushrooms to appear within your soil, and especially a potting mix like Pro Mix, where there isn't nearly much nutrients readily available. Fortunately, some companies do have Pro Mix available with nutrients in it. I'm not going to call any names because I am not sponsored by these companies, but definitely there are companies out there that usually amend their Pro Mix prepackaged, more or less. So put this in your bags, you already got the amendment and nutrients within your soil, where I usually just buy plain Pro Mix with nothing in it and add my nutrients as I go along. Kind of giving me a more overall feel to what exactly it is I have in my soil and what exactly my plant needs at that specific point of time. A lot of people, they tend to have that nutrients in there when they start to kind of get up and that push and that boost, and then look for deficiencies, or kind of set a time frame where, all right, the plant already eat up all the nutrients in the soil and it's time to feed again. But for me, I like to take a different approach where I know exactly what my plant has available within the root system to nourish it. And definitely, this is one of the signs, as I mentioned before, in terms of adding certain microbes into your soil, because the microbes to me is very important and key, especially in terms of this species of plant, in terms of uptake of the NPKs. You really had to have that copper in there, that boron, the iron, the sulfur, the amino acids, the manganese. Um, as I mentioned before, sorry for the pause here. Definitely, we had to be very in tune with our plants and what our plants really need, what they're looking for at the different stages of growth. And as I mentioned before, really keeping that healthy ecosystem within your soil to really get the performance you want from your plants. The specific plant I have never topped. Later down in my channel, I will release videos based on how I go about my grow. So you can always look out, subscribe, like, hit the notification button, so every time any video come out, definitely it will be available for you to see. I will be updating on a lot of information. There is a lot of information within my head. Definitely I need to get out there to share with the audience, with the people. Fam, you don't know, I'm here for the new growers. Definitely I'm here with my experience and my knowledge and my approach, because every grower have a different approach. Everybody have different ideas of how they go about doing their thing. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, some people debunk the fact that mushrooms appear into the soil because probably you are overwetting, which I don't totally disagree with. There is some factors around that in terms of the moisture within your soil and your dry back periods. But for me, as I mentioned earlier on in this video, I usually allow my soil to dry back before waterings or before feedings. Yeah. So I can say I'm 80% sure that, or 90% sure that definitely these mushrooms appeared due to that perfect balance between micronutrients and well secondary as well as primary nutrients. There's a perfect balance within the soil, that perfect moisture within the soil as well to really make these beautiful, nice umbrella umbrella type babies coming out there. As you can see, they're popping up all over the soil base. If I do go around right around the grow bag, definitely you'll see there's a wide variety of them just popping up all over the place. My soil is looking kind of wet right now because I just finished wet. Actually, I fed some nutrients like about 10 minutes ago. So definitely, this is our outdoor grow, and we are in the Caribbean. Presently, we are getting some serious temps. So I try to make sure and have my plants well watered, not having them suffering in the hot sun. Don't really want them to come up with any type of complications. I don't need that, especially in this stage of my plant grow. Definitely, I wouldn't be revealing the top of this plant in this video, so you all can look out for the top of this plant, seeing exactly what this plant has on it. So you can look out for that, as I mentioned before. Subscribe, hit the notification buttons, leave a comment down below if you all really want me to reveal this plant or what is on top and what a healthy ecosystem does to a plant. So when you see the top of it, definitely you'll be able to determine, hey, yeah, no doubt, a healthy ecosystem within the soil, a ecosystem brings a healthy plant on top. Yeah, guys. So without any further ado, definitely, as I mentioned, hit up the subscribe, hit up notify, hit up like, hit up share, comment, and really help me build my YouTube channel, guys. So as I mentioned before, I'm out.